Good morning. This is Haruni Tejas Kumar from Department of Mechanical Engineering. So I'm going to handle the subject Industrial Engineering. So for that purpose, I select the topic Introduction to Industrial Engineering. So first, Industrial Engineering. What is the definition for Industrial Engineering? So we have taken the definition from the American Institute of Industrial Engineers. It has defined the special field of industrial engineering as concerned with design, improvement, and installation of integrated systems of people, materials, equipment, and energy. So it draws upon specialized knowledge and skill in the mathematical, physical, and social sciences together with the principles and method of engineering analysis and designed to specify, predict, and evaluate the results to be obtained from such systems. Industrial engineering is engineering approach to the detailed analysis of the use and cost of the resources of organization. The main resources are men, money, materials, equipment, and machinery. The industrial engineer carries out such analysis in order to achieve the objectives to increase productivity, of profit, and policies of the organization. And industrial engineers' techniques go beyond the mechanical cost factor. He is associated with organization structure, administrative techniques, human problems, and at the same time, he understands the relationship between efficiency and consistent, that means of the working group. Especially the industrial engineer is engaged in the design of a system and his function is primarily that of management. If industrial engineer had to focus on only one concept to describe his field of interest and objective, it would have to be a productive management. So productive improvement implies a more efficient use of resources, less waste per unit of input supplied, higher levels of output for fixed levels of input supplied, and so on. So the inputs may be human efforts, energy in any myriad forms, materials, invested capital, etc. So the mission would be try to produce more or to serve better without increasing the resources being consumed. So before that, we are going deep into the industrial engineering, but you want to know the history and development of industrial engineering. What industrial engineering is today and aspires to be in future is determined by what has gone before. So industrial engineering had its roots in the industrial revolution around 1750. It was nourished by individuals who sought to advance organization and management principles at an early date. It emerged as a separate discipline and was formalized in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and it achieved maturity after World War II. The Industrial Revolution resulted from the advent of new inventions, especially in the textile industry, then steam engine, advances in metal cutting, and production of machine tools. These lead to factories with large number of workers. With the growth and the size of industries came to the beginning of management thinking. The application of the scientific method of analysis, experimentation, and practical demonstration had been extended to the production of machine tools, more complicated process, and better product. Now, it was being extended to man's thinking on organization and management principles and method. Scientific management as a professional approach was yet to come, waiting on the works of pioneers in the field. Historians of science and technology might argue as to the beginning of industrial engineering. The generally accepted beginning related to the work done by F.W. Taylor, who was concerned primarily with the concept of productivity, even though he did not refer to it in those terms. Prior to Taylor's work, however, there were others whose writings referred to concepts that ultimately became associated with industrial engineering, whose impact on Taylor is difficult to assess. One of the earliest of these, Adam Smith treatise, The Wealth of Nations, published in 1776. The concept of Adam Smith expressed concerning the proper division of labor, while not original, nevertheless become an important factor in the unfolding of impending industrial revolutions. The writings of Adam Smith and those of both his students and contemporaries were important milestones in the development of factory system and of the industrial revolution which is created. Adam Smith was an economist, not an engineer, and as a result, his writing came from the perspective. So these are about the histories of uh, industry engineering, especially. Uh, uh, Here we want to mention Henry L. Gant. He is the third individual who laid much of the groundwork for the developing activity industry engineering. Probably the most often quoted and generally acknowledged investigator of studies that have led to the discipline of industry engineering, and who has himself a mechanical engineering, was Frederick F. W. Taylor. Though Taylor did not use the term industrial engineering in his work, his writings and talks under the aegis of ASME are generally credited as being the beginning of the discipline industrial engineering. So Taylor, however, preferred the term scientific management. What Taylor was proposing was a more rational and planned approach of the problems of production and shop management. Besides management problems, Taylor was active in research on metal cutting and the technical problems of production as well. So now we are going to study about the role of industry engineers. So what is the important role of industrial engineers? So first, the advisor, and so what do you mean by advisor? The available to others for interpretation of data and review. So industry in the engineering is mostly depend on data. So advocate is another character, another role. He is promote actually a process or approach. Analyzed a separate whole into parts and examine them to explore for insight and characteristics. So boundary spanner bridge the information in this gap between the industry engineering and the user. Motivator should provide a stimulus and skill availability to group or individual. Decision maker select a preference from among many alternatives for topic of concern. Designer or planner produce the solution specification. Expert provide a high level of knowledge, skill, and experience on a specific topic. Then coordinator, integrator, innovator, inventor. That means innovator, inventor seek to produce creative and advanced technology solution. Measure, obtain data and facts about existing conditions. Project manager, trainer, in the skills of the knowledge of industrial engineering. So these are the important roles of the industrial engineer. Then application of the industrial engineering, we know that. So in the industries, besides the production, other department utilizing the industrial engineering concept of marketing, finance, purchasing, industrial relations. Then production management. What do you mean by production management? So here the production management centers on two major areas. So design of the production system, which includes product, process, plant and equipment. So here the most important inputs we are in product, process, plant and equipment. So we want to design first, then development. So these are the two major areas which are concerned by the production management. So second one is development. Development of the control system to manage inventories, product qualities, production schedules and productivity. So these are the two major areas. One is design and the development. So operations are at the center of the diagram because they are dynamic doing elements of the production process. It is clear that we cannot dismiss any of the other elements of the production management cycle. Operation cannot exist without them. The process is a time stream of operations which is kept under control. So this is the production management cycle. So strategic planning, tactical planning, implementation, operation, evaluation and replanning. Now we are going to study one by one. So if major investments in system design are at the core of our consideration, we say that strategic decision is warranted. On the other hand, if implementation patterns are central to the manager's problem, then we say that a tactical decision is called for. The decision distinction is useful. Tactics are applied to the method and instruments of implementation. Strategies refer to the design decision. For example, individual jobs can be redesigned, machines replaced, and materials altered. Such changes are represented by the loop. So here when you look at the diagram, so the loop 1, which has a greater volume of usage than planning. Loop 2, which operates when startup of new process is required. Following the various connections of the figure, we observe that operation is engaged in a central way through a series of connections, that is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and implementation, control, and evaluation. And this control subuse is essential to the organization planning system. So here in the figure, it also reflects the great variety of production management responsibilities. It includes the facilities and abilities for the detailed consideration of such factors related to design of production process. First, there is a product design, job and process design, equipment selection and replacement, labor skills and training programs, input material selection including raw materials and subcontracting, plant selection, layout, scheduling steps of the planning. So in addition to control system, it includes controls such as inventory control policies, quality control policies, production schedule control policies, productivity, cost control policies, constructing control systems, implementing and operating control system, modifying and policies and designs. Next, we are going to study about our production and productivity. So what do you mean by production? So production is any process or procedure developed to transform a set of input elements like men, materials, capital, information, and energy into a specified set of output elements like finished product and services in a proper quantity and quality, thus achieving the objectives of an enterprise. So production, the essence of production is the creation of goods, maybe the transformation of raw materials or by assembling so many small parts. Production in everyday life can be noticed in factories as just office. There are four recognized factors of production. First, nature, second, labor, capital, and enterprise. So this is production. So production function, the function is the expression of relationship amongst a number of variables. So this is about the production. Then we are going to study about the productivity. We know that the productivity is the ratio of number of workers per number of items produced per time. So productivity of a production system is analogous to the efficiency of a machine. Just as it decides to increase the efficiency of a machine, it is also aimed at to raise the productivity within the available resources. Productivity may also be defined as we have studied earlier. It is the ratio of output and input. So here the output means the amount produced or the number of items produced, and the input are the various resource employed. So now we are going to see one problem here. So here the factors affecting productivity. So there are two factors. One is factors affecting national productivity, then factors affecting productivity, manufacturing and services. So first one, factors affecting national productivity, the human resources, technology and capital investment, government regulation. Then factors affecting productivity in manufacturing and services, product or system design, machinery and equipment, the skill and effectiveness of the worker, the production value. First one is human resources. So the general level of education is an important factor in a national productivity. The use of computers and other sophisticated equipment and systems requires better educated employees. Government has helped by sponsoring more education, especially in the fields that directly affect productivity. Employees need to be motivated to be productivity. Pay is not enough. They need to have good, safe working conditions and to be recognized as the most vital part of the enterprise. Labor unions and management may be adversaries in negotiating pay and benefit, but can cooperate in seeking productivity improvements to the benefit of all. In technology and capital investment, the major factor in long-range continuing productivity improvement is technology, and new technology depends on research and development. For industry or services to put new technology into use, they must invest in new machinery and equipment. The government can do the following: promote research and development in industries and universities, encourage personal savings and reduce tax on profit so that people invest in new facilities, allow depreciation rate that will provide cash flow for new investment, directly encourage new investment through increased investment tax credit. Then government regulation. An excessive amount of government regulation may have a determined effect of productivity. Government can do much to eliminate unneeded regulations and make cost-benefit analysis to determine the necessary regulations such as those on health and safety. Then product design. If through better product design, a product can be simplified by eliminating some of its parts, it is obvious that material these pieces are made of will no longer be needed. Then machinery and equipment. Once the product is designed, then how it is made offers the next opportunity for productivity improvement. The equipment used, machines, tools, conveyors, robots, that the way the factory is laid out all are important. So now the recent days, the technology development, they are using the computer. So computer has helped the recent product. Third, help operating complicated machine to CNC machines, and it controls the inventory of materials and parts. Then third, skill and effectiveness of worker. The trained and experienced worker can do the same job is some much shorter time and which for greater effectiveness and then move on. However, even though the trained employees must be motivated to be productivity. So assume the volume of the output is to be doubled. The number of direct workers would have is to double. A few indirect workers might also be needed, but there would be a probably not be a need of more engineers, research scientists, headquarters staff people, or other staff personnel. So now we are going to see one problem related to productivity. So here, number of workers in the plan A is given, number of workers in the plan B is given, the number of items produced per unit time, the number of items produced per unit time as well for plan A as well as plan B is given. So what is the productivity? The number of workers by number of items produced. So here in plan A the productivity rate is that is 1 by 20 and in plan B that is 1 by 15. So here the purpose of increased productivity, there are three purpose here for management view, for workers view, for customers. So these three factors or these three peoples want to increase the productivity. Why? Because the management to increase to produce good earning, to earn profit, to clear the debt or loan occur for different sources. So only they can easily invest the money, the profit to another field to increase the productivity and earn more profit. They want to sell more product to satisfy the customers. Then they want to get the brand name. Okay, brand name. Now in this market we can know many branded are there. Why? Because they want to give the quality product. Then for workers view, they want to get more higher wages, then better working conditions. Okay. So main aim is higher wages. You want to salary, then want they can run the family, they can meet their needs. So they want higher wages, the incentives, anything. Then better working conditions. Working condition is very important. Why? Because here in the later chapter we are going to study about the industry psychology. So it is very important to increase the productivity, then higher standard of living, then job security and satisfaction. This is very important for the workers as well as for the management. If there is a turnover of more workers from a management or the industry, definitely it will be a failure for the management. So job security and satisfaction more important. Then so the last point for customers, you want to reduce the price of the articles. In a better way, you want to say that you want to get a product that is cheap and best. So this is the view of the customer. So the three side, they want to increase the productivity because this purpose. So from this side we conclude this section. Thank you so much. Thank you all.